Ever since The Weeknd's new HBO series, The Idol, made its debut earlier this month, people cannot stop talking about it. There have been accusations, scandals, controversies coming to light left and right, including the rumors that The Weeknd fired the original director Amy Seimetz because he didn't want the show being directed through a female perspective. And the reviews are not great either. The Idol currently has 1 out of 5 stars on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's really bad. Some of the reviews say, episode 1 okay, storyline watchable. It then became a vile, distasteful waste of time, so don't waste yours. Disturbing and exploitative, and no, not in a this is what they meant way, it's just bad. It wants to be provocative so badly, but all it does is making people cringe. It's painful to watch, way too cringy for me. Somebody else said, nothing is happening. What is happening? And honestly, I've been asking myself the same question. I was even looking through Euphoria's reviews, which we'll get to in a little bit, but people were even dragging The Idol in Euphoria's reviews, which I thought was kind of funny. But somebody said, huge L for Sam, thinking he created another Euphoria with The Idol. The Idol can't measure up to Euphoria at all. Very boring and corny compared to Euphoria. Someone else said, rewatched this yesterday instead of that nonsense The Idol show. We recently learned that The Idol will not have a second season, and that's honestly probably for the best. One of the main points of criticism in the show was the over-sexualization of women. As we know, Sam Levinson was the director for this series, and he doesn't have the best track record when it comes to keeping things PG-13. Sam is the man who created Euphoria, and although Euphoria is one of my favorite shows of all time, because it reminds me of my teenagehood, to be honest, but that's like a whole nother story. It's received a lot of backlash for the amount of nudity that it shows, and rightly so. The show and its production teams have been under fire in the past for having the actors and actresses bare all while they're portraying high school aged teenagers. Although the cast was over 18 in real life, they're still portraying minors on the show, and having several nude scenes in every single episode sparked a lot of controversy. Sydney Sweeney, who plays 17-year-old Cassie, even stated in an interview with The Independent that there were times when she had to ask Levinson to remove nude scenes from the script because she felt that it was unnecessary. She said, there were moments where Cassie was supposed to be shirtless, and I would tell Sam, I don't really think that's necessary here. He was like, okay, we don't need it. I've never felt like Sam has pushed it on me or was trying to get a nude scene into an HBO show. When I didn't want to do it, he didn't make me. Which, I mean, that's great that he didn't make them do nude scenes if they didn't feel comfortable doing it, but that also gives a different perspective because that means that they cut out a lot of nude scenes from the show, and there are already so many nude scenes in the show, which means that in Sam Levinson's original script, he was having them do way more nude scenes, which just makes it all the more creepy because it's like the show was about teenagers, but he was trying to make the whole thing nude scenes. I don't know, when you think about it, it's just giving very cringy, very much like male fantasies. Even though The Idol is about adults in their 20s and 30s, Sam Levinson still managed to squeeze in sexualization of a minor. One of the characters, named Chloe, was seen completely nude in episode 3 for most of the episode, and in episode 4 we found out that she's underage. So it seems like that's Sam Levinson's trademark at this point. Some viewers are calling the show a male R-word fantasy, which, side note, by the way, I'm so sorry I have to make up words like R-word. If you don't know what I'm talking about, R-A-P-E, it's just the community guidelines. I mean, like, a lot of the scenes feel extremely cringy and uncomfortable to watch. There are countless scenes in the show where somebody is either being or over-sexualized to the extreme, to the point where it feels like you're low-key watching porn. One of the most controversial parts of the show was actually happening completely behind the scenes. When the show had first started filming, up until it was 80% finished, Sam Levinson was not the director. The show was being directed by Amy Seimetz. Amy Seimetz abruptly left the show due to creative differences on set when it was more than halfway finished. They only had 20% of the series left to film and had already put somewhere between $55 to $75 million into the production of the show. After Amy left, that's when Sam Levinson came in and him and The Weeknd rewrote the entire show. Rumors started flying that The Weeknd had fired Amy because he didn't like the direction that the show was going in, being directed through a female perspective. There have been conflicting reports on if this is true or not, but The Weeknd is sticking by his story that it's all fake news. The news about Amy's departure was first published in an article by Rolling Stone, and it sparked a feud between Rolling Stone and The Weeknd. He even wrote a segment into the show to mock Rolling Stone and take a jab at them, making fun of their follower count on Instagram and calling them past their prime.
I don't know, I feel like it might be kind of past its prime. You know what I mean?
Nobody cares about Rolling Stone.
Well, I know a few writers over there that I think would handle whatever.
Which that scene in the show and knowing the backstory behind it just put me off because it just seems so shallow to me, like making fun of a company for their follower count on Instagram. I mean, to me it does make sense if The Weeknd really did let Amy go because he wanted the show to be filmed through a male misogynistic point of view. I said this in my last video that I made about The Idol, but The Weeknd has always been one of my favorite singers, like top 5. And so I was really excited to watch The Idol, but after seeing all of this and knowing that The Weeknd wrote it, I don't know, it just sort of, I don't know, I'm feeling like a little bit differently towards him now. I was about to buy a poster of him to hang up in my new place because I'm about to move, but now I'm like, I don't know if I want a poster of him hanging up in my place anymore. I felt like the show would have been a lot better if there was a stronger storyline, but honestly, we're on episode 4 right now. Episode 5 is coming out tomorrow, and there's not much of a story. Like, really all that's happened so far is Jocelyn met this guy at the club and began a relationship with him, and now she's just being like abused in every single episode. Like, there's really no storyline at all, and if you guys haven't seen the show, then I don't know like how much I can express to you that there really is no storyline. All that it is just like softcore porn. In episode 4, they did come out with some bangers. I'm not gonna lie, like the music that they released in episode 4 was actually pretty good, but the lyrics, the beats were really good, the flow was really good, but the lyrics were just so cringy. So it looks like The Weeknd wrote most of these songs. So I have this one pulled up here. This is called One of the Girls, and it's with Jenny, Lily Rose Depp, and The Weeknd. I mean, the beat and the flow were both really good, but the lyrics just ruined it. I love when you're submissive. You love it when I break skin. You feel pain without flinching. Push me and choke me till I pass out. Tear me down, snuff me out. Hands on my neck while you push it up. Give me tough love, leave me with nothing when I come down. My kind of love, force me and choke me till I pass out. This song is pretty much what the whole show is like in a nutshell. So have you guys been watching this? Are you gonna watch it? Are you gonna watch the last episode tomorrow? Let me know what you guys think about all this. What's your take on this? If there's anything you guys want me to talk about specifically, like any other topics, you can leave a comment down below or you can DM it to me on Instagram and I'll try my best to cover it. But yeah, that's it for this video. Bye!